Welcome back, everybody, to our weekly empath, week number 50. That is December the 8th till the 14th. My name is Yona Brindis, and I'm an energy healer and energy coach, helping people through all their ups and downs of spiritual awakening and energy management. All right. Every week here for years, I've been doing this energy update for people to give them a little bit of a heads up, sort of what to expect in the next week, and to contextualize their own experiences. So this is what I'm doing this here for, and I'm doing this live so that you can ask questions directly. There's a huge community here of empaths and energetically sensitives within transCODES. Some of that takes place in our free forum, so check out the website, if you want to get in touch with other people, who are on this same journey. But for the most part here, I'm going to offer you a preview a little bit of collective energies affecting your energy, meaning that some of the things that you go through may not be all yours. Okay, we teach here how to discern this. Okay, so most of my messages are, you are not alone, and this may not be yours. And we're in a rather extreme or intense time right now, and so traditionally the last weeks of the year, the energies get amped up. But in addition to all of this, we have these really intense expansion waves coming in that we talked about in the last weeks here. And so what I would like you to reflect on is what it actually is that's making you so stressed out. Okay, last week I said that this that we're steering towards a more or deeper emotional processing, and this is still going on, guys. Okay, so everything that you're gonna perceive here in this coming week, okay, so starting this weekend, will be there to teach you how to work with these new limits of what you are what you are experiencing, and how this actually works for you. Okay, so right now, currently, we're still in the process of being in the middle of the experience. You may experience a few extremes with other people, things sort of boiling up really quickly, but then also de-escalating, and trying to go into resolution. And so next week will be about contextualizing these things that you've experienced here this week, namely, where are my upper limits and where are my lower limits? What is the minimum and what is the maximum? How can I practically apply what these limits are, even if they maybe felt as limitations at first? But what it really is that you're going through is this recalibration from within. Okay, you're getting to know yourself better. You're making the unconscious conscious, and as this happens, your perception is opening up. So the thing that usually limits us to just perceiving the things that we want to perceive, or how they fit into the mindset that we have and the beliefs, the unconscious beliefs that we have, is our ego perception. And as this widens up, we're going to be bumped against, new limits. We're going to have to work with this, all right? We're going to have to work with what it means to growl. No matter which part of this awakening journey you are at, no matter what age group you are at, you're bumping against your ceiling. And if you want to grow, if you want to go with this, if you want to learn new levels of connecting with yourself, with others, then now is the time to pay attention to what works for you and what doesn't. To learn how to discern your needs, which is often sort of the lower limit for people, the minimum, and your desires. And perhaps even for those of you who have been doing this for a while, to go a step further and differentiate your desires into true ones, heartfelt desires. And this discernment and process is a bit like a constant recalibration. So you're going to bump against the ceiling. you know, all your emotional wounding is coming up, you know, some of your inner child stuff, some of your karmic stuff is coming up. And that's what you're going to have to pay attention to here, because these come up to show you your limits. And they're not there for you to go back into your old patterns. You know, we dealt with a lot of old patterns here in the past. They're not there to show you how well you can cope. They're here for you to consciously integrate them into your journey and learn from it and grow beyond it. So whatever it is that you did in the past, we talked about seeking pleasure, avoiding pain, you know, the paradigms that the ego operates on, and how this can drive us into our ego addictions. But you're gonna have to learn how to work with this now, okay? Avoiding, numbing, denying does not help you grow, okay? But being too open and sucking things up and trying to please others and trying to make things work that are actually not workable, you know, is not healthy either. So you're going to have to find this middle ground, and you have to find what your true motives are in this. All right, is this all just about pleasing the other, or is this all just about my desires? You know, is this coming from sort of a narcissistic survival type of desire, you know, to just, you know, to protect my own wounds? In empath circles, we talk a lot about empath narcissism relationships, and how, you know, the empath is usually on the lower end of you know, abuse and so forth, you know, how we're being taken advantage of, you know. But there is another side to that story, and that is that we go above and beyond, you know, to please the other, or to impress the other, you know, or to fix something, you know, that actually doesn't need fixing. Okay, we also go above and beyond to project our sensitivities out, and both of these mechanisms, these push-pull mechanisms and projecting and absorbing mechanisms, you know, are going to be a big part of our new reality that we are in the process of birthing here. Okay, we're going to have to put these things into account and learn how to work this with other people. It has to become more mutual. And that, of course, also affects politics and our societies as a whole. So as we have this new generation of empaths growing in now, we're going to have to learn how this will all change our society. It will change our schooling system. It will change the way we live in communities. It will change the way we handle things, you know, topics such as food supply, energy supply, social media, and so forth. Those are all social aspects that require a more mutual strategy now, and internally, and those are all things that I cover in the energy tips here for the patron supporters and heart warriors here at transCODES. You know, all that requires a more healed inner relationship between the masculine and feminine energies within ourselves. But also, it always reflects into our outer relationships. So there's a mutual change on the internal and external perception that we have, that we now need to pay attention to as well. Another subject that is coming up for next week is really to work with these wounds that we're showing here, that are currently showing for you. And most of that has to do with fear and anger. Okay? Many of you, especially if you're female, you know, still have issues with dealing with your anger. Okay? This is coming forward right now. And I want you to understand that anger, from an energetic point of view, is actually a really good place to be in, because it helps you to get the courage, even if it's just, you know, in the sense of effort, I've had it, to overcome your previous limitations, to help you grow. You just can't stay in anger and you know, use this as justification to blame others. That's when it becomes narcissistic. However, these emotional wounds that came forward, you know, they're not there for you to avoid them or protect them. They're there for you to show you how you can grow. So when you get angry about something, or how you were treated, or you know, how things have played out, okay, then this is a sign there that there is space for growth. And you want to really sort of look at this and say, okay, I get it, you know, once you're done with the release of the anger. But what is it that I can learn from this now? What were, my unmet needs? We talked about this last week that I didn't have covered. What are some of my desires that I didn't express? And so this week here, you're going to have to consciously go into the active expression of your needs, of your limits, of your desires, and focus on, the heartfelt aspect of it, what you truly want, what you truly need, what you truly want to say. Because this is then allowing you to find better problem solving mechanisms, better, solutions with your partner, with your family, with your kids, with your work. Okay? It will also help you, and this is the energetic perspective of that, to tune into your superpowers more, because your superpowers have something to do with your true source of power. Okay, and if you're not fully aware of what your limitations are, what your true strengths are, what your true, what your weaknesses are, or your sensitivities, okay, then it's really difficult for you to develop strategies, with others, or, in just, in your social life, that can make you more successful. So the subject of developing a strategy here, not just for solving, day-to-day problems, but also, how you want to evolve your life, for next year. This is part of this next week's overall collective energy. And I strongly recommend you, as I have for the heart warriors here in the last couple of weeks, to work with, developing a vision board, to develop things that you make your heart beat, all the things that make you tick, the things that really motivate you. And for this inward shift is needed. Okay, what are my true motives? Yes, in the negative, it can actually bring lies forward, like how you've been lying to yourself, how you've been living in an illusion. But if you stay within this optimistic life view for the future, what it can really show you is the core of who you are, and where your true strengths, your true talents, your true superpowers lie. Because your vision of yourself in the future carries the information of how to get there. Just because you can't access this right now doesn't mean it's not there. It's just too much around it. Okay, and when it comes to career, or when it comes to relationship, we have all these unconscious beliefs, these mindsets, okay, that distract us from what's truly important to us. All right, and this is your task here for next week. As for, how we're dealing with this physically, I've said this many times. I've been saying this for years, really. Part of the big challenge here for energetically sensitives going through these expansion waves and this awakening is that we have a strong physical reaction to it, and it always kind of makes us feel like we're under a negative effect of that. I really want you to shift your perspective there. We talked about the vehicle, and we talked about what expansion means and what happens to your body if you are not willing to expand spiritually, emotionally, mentally. If you're not willing to grow, your body's going to grow. Okay, so those of you who have continued weight issues, okay, it's part of you not willing to work with your wounding, to work with your energetic habits, as in absorbing energies from others and trying to protect yourself from that. It's all this big cluster, It's not really clear to you how you can better deal with this. And this is really the part here that's coming in, along with planning or developing a strategy for next year. You're going to have to look at how you have been dealing or coping with things in the past, and now really apply new strategies, even if you don't have the fix yet, even if you don't know what's going to work and what isn't. But the reason why we avoid things, the reason why our ego goes nuts, and freaks in, or out sometimes, but most people next week they're going to freak in, is because there's an unknown. And the ego cannot handle the unknown. It triggers the fear of death, the fear of the end of everything. And so the strategy that you need to work with is to make the unknown known. Really look at it. Take, a couple days to look at next year, and where do you want to be, by the end of next year, and what are some of the things that you can do differently, and what are some of the steps that you can take to move forward. Are you still waiting for permission? Are you still waiting for something to happen or somebody to tell you that it's okay to be you? All right. If you're not changing that, you're going to be in the exact same place next year, at this time that you are right now. So you're going to have to really go into this next level. Okay, unlock the next level. And the way you unlock the next level is by becoming aware of your superpowers, but simultaneously also accepting your limitations. If your health is low, you're going to have to do basic self-care. If your emotions are low, then you're going to have to do active things that can reconnect you within and reconnect you with others. If you are tired, and you can't really focus on anything, then you're going to have to learn how to ground and center yourself. So those are sort of the basic themes here for next week. And it's not going to be an easy task, but it's not going to be hard or difficult either. All you got to do is really follow what your energy body's already doing, and that is awakening. Be awake, pay attention. And besides wanting to be of service for you, and like answering online questions, so please ask questions if you are currently dealing with energetic sensations. And I can count a few things for you that most of the people around the world have been reporting. And yes, I can see your hearts. Don't forget to like and to send hearts here. This is what gets me going. All right. And yes, tell me where you're from. We got Denmark here, we got Washington here, we got a few more people from other places. Let me know where you're from. Okay. And tell others in that way that they're not alone. But some of these physical sensations or these challenges that we're experiencing right now is that we want to cave in a bit. So last week, or currently, this is coming forward as like wanting to be just lazy, wanting to be just binge watching stuff, wanting to be just, because there's too many things that are stressing you right now that are unresolved. Let go of trying to fix everything. Agree with yourself that it's okay not to have a solution. Yes, take a lot of time to go inward, to take a bath, to do whatever you have already worked out that works really well for you for self-care. And at the same time also communicate, express, work with the other. This could be your family, this could be your parents, this could be your kids, this could be your boss, this could be your partner. There's a lot of preparation going on right now for Christmas, and already conflicts popping up, how are we going to do this and so forth. Ask the other, what is really important to you. I found out that, this and this and this is really important to me, and I would love to have it that way. Instead of, immediately thinking you have to please everybody, or try to put everybody's needs into, to satisfy every need that everybody brings in here. You don't have to, express from your heart what is truly important for you, what is your absolute minimum, and what is, your absolute maximum. So the self-coaching here continued from last week is what is too much and what is too little. And with the addition now that you really ask yourself, what are my true strengths here? And how can I best access my true strengths? Like what are the conditions that I need to truly work with them? And that has to do with your expression, but also, with knowing what you need, what your absolute minimum requirements are. Yes, and we have a giveaway like every week, and this week's giveaway, guys, is something that has to do with the energies that are coming in. This weekend will all be, will all be about exploring, deeper connection with others. And I know that many of you have heard this, or, may not entirely know what this means, or have quite substantial experience with this already, and that is twin flames. So I want to give you a nutshell in how this works. All right. if you do, you know, if you actively engage what I just proposed to you, you know, this going inward and really working with your own needs and desires, and you know, learning the outer limits of your narcissism, you know, and the minimum requirements of your true needs and your wounds. Okay, what will happen is that, you know, you learn how to transcend your egoic you know, desires, you know, for attention, for validation, for reassurance, for specialness, for control. Okay, and this is the really the there's the precondition that you need to really be able to connect with someone on a deeper level. And when you begin to connect with someone on a deeper level, there will be another level of interaction that you'll notice, and that is the energetic interaction that I talk so much about. And this is like a whole new world. You're going to have to work out a whole new set of engagement rules, you know, with your partner on this level of true love and unconditionality. And when you, you know, are prepared to do this, and you have the openness to do this, your energy will shift and it sends out a different resonance, and you will attract different kind of people in your life. You will attract different relationships in your life. And I do not want to feed the specialness around twin flames and twin soul, but I do want to point out that there is something like that. Okay, just without all this overload, like the one forever soulmate, you know. So we're gonna have to learn, you know, the deeper truth of that. Okay, and here at transCODES we work with twin flame energies, but in a very responsible way, in the way that we show you that this is actually something that has to come from unifying your soul from within. Okay, and this week I'm going to give away 3 sessions, coaching sessions, talking with me about this, how to unravel this, to develop a roadmap, whether you are actively with a twin flame or think you are, or whether you would like to you know, have a relationship like this, or whether you would like explore what this is all about, you know. Then I'm giving away 3 sessions here, 90-minute sessions with me personally, energy coaching in regards to twin flame and twin soul energies, pertaining your life and your energy signature. And what I want you to do is to, in order to qualify for this, is to type in to the text here right now, or when you see this video on YouTube, I want to explore my unified soul. Okay, I want to explore my unified soul. This is the task for you in order to qualify for the twin soul energy coaching sessions with me personally. Okay, so this concludes sort of my you know, energy update here, the roundup. I would like to give you guys a bit more space. Hey, friends, I can see you. Good to have you here. It's, you know, for this not to just be like sort of a small circle here of people who always come. I need your help. You need to share these videos so that other people can come in as well. Okay, this is how social media works. Yes, so if you would like to ask questions, then use the commentary here, use the commentary to win the free energy sessions for working with twin flame energies with me. And we're going to publish the forecast for December here in a couple of days. They were done by the end of November, so Heart Warriors and Sacred Self-Healing members, you know, that's the overall program that we have here for empaths and energetically sensitives. They already have it, but you know, for the public it comes out a week later. Thank you guys for being here. Just a quick announcement. On December 20th, I am starting my annual, you know, sort of accompanying you through the holidays. I've called it different ways, you know, mostly getting through the holidays in the past. But I'm calling this So Spiritual, and this will be done on Instagram and YouTube Live in cooperation with Smarty.com. So I would love to see you guys starting from the 20th till the 4th of January every day at noon. Thank you guys. Wishing you a wonderful week, and Hardwares and Patreon, stay tuned for the energy tips. Bye-bye.